Alright guys, so the opening weekend for the Fantastic Four First Steps at the box office has finally concluded. We have the numbers, they've been revealed, we can go over them now. Worldwide, this movie opened up at $218 million at the box office, and then domestically it ended up doing $118 million at the box office. So these numbers of course are going to be directly compared to the Superman film because they are the competitors of each other and they released within the same month, only 3 weeks apart I want to say. So in comparison to Superman did open at $125 million domestically, so slightly higher for the Superman movie by a couple million there, which to me is a little surprising, I'll be completely honest, but it also makes sense because Superman is more popular in the United States rather than anywhere else in the entire world. Now, worldwide and globally, Superman did open at $217 million, so in comparison to the Fantastic Four First Steps, it's only $1 million off, so they're neck and neck. They're razor thin. Domestically, Superman did better, but worldwide, internationally, Fantastic Four First Steps did better. And honestly, I'm extremely surprised with the opening box office numbers for both weekends of both films. There's also new reports that Superman did cross $500 million at the box office globally, so that movie is doing very well right now, even with the fact that it's not going to do as well internationally compared to the Fantastic Four movie. Now, what do I think is going to do better in the long run? Quite honestly, I think it's going to be the Fantastic Four First Steps, though I am very happy with Superman's performance. I loved that movie. Make sure you go check out my Superman review. It's up on the channel. You can check that out right here. Go see what we had to say there in that video. And of course, the video that released before this was my Fantastic Four review, so that should be easy for you to find. Go ahead and watch both those reviews. I did think the Fantastic Four movie was slightly better than Superman, just slightly when it comes to a critic level and even a fan level, but even then, I have these films neck and neck with each other, and the box office does too. So moving on from that, I think if we take into account the budgets of each film, with the Fantastic Four film being budgeted at $200 million, Superman at $225 million, so an extra $25 million going into that film, it is safe to say that for the studios, Fantastic Four is generating more revenue for Marvel than Superman is for DC, but I'm happy to say that both these films are performing well overall. Now let's move on from the box office conversation. Let's talk about superhero fatigue, because of course there's been a lot of talk about it. People have been saying this. It's been a very popular saying within the past year or two. Superhero fatigue. People are getting tired of superhero films. I think we can safely say that is not the case. People are getting tired of bad superhero movies. That's very apparent. That's very clear now with the performances of both these films. You know, if you make these films with a proper script, it's well written with a proper director and a great cast of great actors, you know, high caliber, then these films are going to perform well and people are never going to get tired of them. And I say that to say especially me, because I never had superhero fatigue in the first place. We just got in a bit of a slump when it came to the quality of the Marvel and DC films, but that quality has clearly returned now. Going forward, if I had to make a rough guess, a rough estimate, I originally predicted that Superman would do around the Batman numbers at $750 million at the box office. I think that number is still pretty accurate. Quite honestly, I do think it's going to theatrically end its run around those numbers, whereas Fantastic Four, I'd say we could probably push more for an $800 million, $850 million at the box office, especially because it has such great word of mouth right now, and it is performing better internationally than Superman is, and that is going to make a big difference when it comes to the box office. So overall, guys, those are my thoughts on this opening weekend's report for the Fantastic Four and, you know, the ongoing weekends for the Superman film. I am trying to get into this a little more, you know, talking about box office numbers, talking about the performance of these films outside of just reviewing these films and critiquing them upon their release. So I still have a lot of room to grow when it comes to this particular area of film. But those are my thoughts on these numbers. I'd love to know your thoughts on these numbers down in the comment section down below. If you don't know what we do here on Demigod ENT, we do film, TV, and anime-based content. So if you're interested in any of this type of content, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.